So, Karen, what is Swish? Tell me.
Swish is a luxury rentals platform based in Marbella where you can go and find a villa to rent for short term.
And this is in the high-end luxury side.
Yes, exactly.
Explain to me what the difference is between a traditional rental where the job of the agency is limited to securing the booking and handing the keys over to what you do.
So normally how it works is that you either rent through an agency, let's say in Marbella, a real estate agency, and they're focused on sales, on rental, long-term, short-term, they do a bit of everything. So their job basically would be to connect the tenant with the homeowner or with the villa, hand them over the key, maybe sometimes do some cleaning in the villa. Our job is a little bit different because, we try to be much more than the intermediary between the owner and the tenant. We prepare the villa. So before the client comes, the villa is extremely cleaned at a very high level of cleanliness, hotel quality basically. We prepare the towels. We have extremely high quality towels that we use, bathrobes, slippers. We use Meraki organic toiletries. For the kids, they will find, some toiletries as well for them from Le Petit Prince. We meet them, we do a human check-in always. We are on standby during the stay 24/7. You have the concierge team who can recommend restaurants, book them, recommend a chef, organize a meal. You have the housekeepers coming every day and doing the housekeeping on a daily basis. You have the technical assistance in case something goes wrong. And then you have the checkout, which is also a human checkout in person. And for the owners, it's also very important to have this service because we go through the property. We ensure that nothing is broken, nothing is damaged. There is an inspection, a checkout report, and the handling of these damages after the stay. To go back a little bit, when you book, for example, on Airbnb, it's a very, very automatic, efficient process, but you don't speak to someone. And in our case, when you're booking a beautiful villa in Marbella, you want to speak with someone on the phone. This connection is very important. You want to make sure the villa is really there. There's a trust aspect that is established when you have a phone conversation. And for owners, it's also very important. They want to make sure that we have vetted the clients, that we know who's coming, the age of the group, what they're coming for, what's the purpose of the trip, are they going to have a party? In a nutshell, it's a human process. Unlike other booking platforms where, the process is a little bit more automatic. And the fact that we only do short-term rentals make us very specialized and focused. And I think this is our advantage when we compare, what we do to other agencies.
You've only been going for a few years now. I think you were established in 2020, is that right?
Correct, yes.
So you co-founded Swish in peak pandemic, right? Have you seen a change in the expectations and the behaviors of, particularly in the high end, which is the way you move, with people looking more for this sort of accommodation as opposed to hotels in the traditional sense?
Yeah, I think that, setting up Swish during the pandemic is surprising to a lot of people, but the pandemic has basically, paved the way for such a business. People notice that they can, live in Marbella and work for their companies in London and reassessing the quality of your life. So people starting seeking a higher quality of life after the pandemic. And this was the perfect opportunity for Swish. When we started, we noticed that there was already some properties on offer for short-term rentals, but no other website or no other company had aggregated the supply and already screened and vetted the properties to make sure only the best were in one place. So what Swish does basically is, choose the best properties in prime location, beautiful properties and of quality, and we put them in one place. So it's very easy for the tenant or the Swish traveler to go on the website and pick any villa and be sure that it's going to be quality because we've already done the job of vetting those villas for them. So to answer your question, the pandemic made it, more relevant to book a villa. And the comparison of a hotel, I feel, is like another discussion. When you book a hotel, basically you think about the price per head. A lot of the times, even though our villas are expensive to rent, the price per head makes more sense than booking a hotel because, in a villa that has 5 bedrooms, you can be 10 in the villa. And on top, you get a lot of other, perks such as privacy. You get the possibility to be a host to host a barbecue for your friends and invite other people around. You get the space, the amenities, and even the convenience of cooking a breakfast for your kids in the kitchen. So these things you can't get in a hotel. And a lot of our clients care about privacy. They care about being with their friends, hosting a barbecue, and just enjoying the space.
And tell me a little bit about the customers that you get. Where are they from? What do they have? Describe that a little bit for me.
We tried to look at that, and the result wasn't very conclusive because our clients come from everywhere in the world. We have in the summer a lot of Middle Eastern clients. Off-season, shoulder season, we get Scandinavian, Swedish, Norwegian. In the winter now we have Eastern European clients from Latvia, from Ukraine. A little bit of everything, to be honest. Now we're seeing more American clients, Canadian. So our clients in terms of demographics come from everywhere in the world. But in terms of who they are, we attract families mostly. So our clients are between 35 and 55-year-old. We also have some corporate trips of season from London, from Switzerland. We've hosted some corporate teams because companies now realize the importance of getting the team together physically and connecting, especially after the pandemic, where it was mostly meeting on a Zoom call.
So let's just go back a step and talk about luxury, because I think luxury is a word that is thrown around very loosely, and to different people it means different things. What sort of prices? Let's give me some price ideas range. These are big mansions, no? What sort of price ranges are we looking at there, more or less, just to give me a ballpark?
We have some apartments too, by the way. So to rent a villa, let's say off-season, it goes from 7,000 euros a week to 20,000 euros a week for a medium villa. And for a very large villa, the maximum would be 80,000 euros a week. And in the summer, the minimum would be around 15,000 a week. We normally are more specialized in the short term. So a typical rental is from 1 week to 1 month. We don't do long term at all. We don't do sales.
And your property, the properties that you rent, you advertise them on your website, but you also use the booking platforms, correct? And is that where most of your business comes from, or?
So we advertise the properties on our own website, also with other agents in Marbella and overseas, and on booking platforms such as Airbnb, Booking.com. So it's quite mixed. I would say booking platforms the least. We get maybe 10% of our bookings from them, simply because at this price point, tenants want to avoid the extra fees of paying the platforms, but also because they want to speak with someone. Like I said before, the process is very human. And when you're coming with your friends, you're very excited about the trip. So you want to speak about it and discuss, who will take the master bedroom, who needs an extra bed in the bedroom. So all these little details, but also there's a trust aspect.
And so you're saying that 10% approximately of your business comes from the booking platforms. Where does the other 90% come from?
The other 90% come from either direct, people finding our website or contacting us on Instagram, social media. And a lot of leads also come from other agents in Marbella and overseas, in England, in Dubai, New York. We have very good relationships with agents. We're very broker friendly. And our website has been designed for agents basically to find all the information they need on the website. So if you click on a single property, you'll find the brochure. It's unbranded. It's easy to download. The prices are very clear. Everything is broken down.
So when you say agents, you refer to estate agents here in Marbella, for example, that they have somebody that wants to rent and they don't offer that service.
Exactly.
So they contact you.
Yes.
Right. And is the stock that they'll find or the property they'll find on your website, like these are all 100% vetted, and so what's available is what's available, and
exactly,
you know that there's like a standard of quality.
The reason they come to us is either they don't have a good property that meets the exact criteria of their client, or because they honestly don't want to worry about the short-term rental. Short-term rentals are very intense in terms of labor. There is a whole process, admin process before the client comes in terms of regulations, and there is the preparation of the property. And all the little extras that we discussed before, you know, the towels, the slippers, the cleaning, being on standby 24/7.
So tell me a little bit about the concierge service part of it, because it's a lot more than just making sure the property is ready for the customers.
Yes.
You were talking about other services during their stay. Give me some examples of what that it might extend to.
Okay, so everyone who books a Swish property gets, you know, some basic services in place. So when they arrive to the house, they will find, you know, a welcome present, some fruits, water, coffee, all the basics that they will need, the towels, and all our Swish homes have also a Swish scent. So they smell nice. We have a signature smell in the houses, the shampoos, etc. And in addition to that, you know, they might request chef services or a massage, a facial. So anything they need, we can help them with.
Let's talk a little bit now about the seasonality of the market here. Logic would suggest that your busiest time might be summer. Is that how it works over here?
Yes. So our busiest times are July and August. In June, we have a good month as well. We have a lot of football players that come in June. It's their months of holidays. And to be honest with you, it's less seasonal than you might think. We're very busy on Christmas, Easter, school holidays in February, you know, on and off, basically all year. And in the winter, we have a lot of medium-term clients, you know, from Eastern Europe, escaping the cold, staying here for 2-3 months. So to be honest with you, it's a year-long business, unlike, you know, Mykonos or Ibiza.
And what about the name? The name suggests Swish, meaning fancy, elegant, posh.
Exactly.
Is that what you were going with?
But it also means quick, and it means the sound of the ball when it goes into the basketball without touching the rim, like spot on.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Swish service. You mentioned that you vet tenants for the person, the owner of the house. What does that vetting process involve?
Most of the requests are already kind of filtered, because, you know, when someone is willing to pay this price tag, it's normally, you know, a family, a large group, someone a little bit older in age. We don't get, for example, very young, you know, guests. But we always call them, we get their names, we do the normal, you know, check on Google to find out who they are. There's a lot of information on the internet already. Normally, you find them on LinkedIn. We speak with them. We discuss the purpose of the stay. You know, sometimes if their, you know, intention is to host a wedding or a party. So according to the purpose of their trip and the size of the group and a lot of other, you know, information that we get, we find the best property for them for their stay.
Tell me a little bit about your team. What is Swish composed of?
So our team at the moment is mainly made of women. We have Selma, who's in charge of client services. So basically, she looks after the client and the whole client journey from the first point of contact until checkout. We have Natalia, who's our listing person. So she's the person making sure all the rates make sense. She's also focused on the operations. We have our copywriter. She's from England, and she writes everything on the Swish website, and, you know, she's basically the voice of the company, I would say. Our translator, she's also translating everything we write in French and in Arabic, which is very important for us because we have a lot of clients coming from Saudi, from the Middle East, but also from France and French-speaking countries more and more. We have Mickey, our graphic designer, and we have the maintenance team made of Jose, Manolo. They're the guys who go and inspect the properties, make sure the sonos are working, the pool is warm, the ACs are cold, and all the technical aspects of the house.
So what do you do then?
Not much.
Let's go back a little bit. You mentioned that a lot of your customers are from France, some are from the Middle East. Now your name, Karen, is a very British sounding name, but your surname is not.
Ayat Issa. I'm from Lebanon, and my husband is from Palestine.
How did you end up here in Marbella, and what made you set up Swish?
I came to Marbella in 2013. I was living in London before, where I studied corporate law. I have a master's in corporate law, and then I worked in private banking in Credit Suisse. When I moved to Marbella with my family, I was looking for an opportunity, and I met my partners who were also thinking about setting up a luxury rentals platform. And this is where the idea of Swish came from. And since we set up the company in 2020, it's been a work in progress. We try to improve every day. We try to enhance the experience for guests and for owners, to make their stay even more enjoyable, to make the owners even more comfortable about the process, and to make sure it's extremely hassle-free for them.
And what do you think you and your team, what would you say that categorizes your style in terms of how you approach the business?
I think what makes us different is that we're customer obsessed. When it comes to the tenants, to the owners, but also to the collaborators, we treat everyone as our VIP client. Our values are availability, quality, and generosity. So we're very quick when someone contacts Swish. We ensure everything we do is high quality when it comes to the towels, but also the soaps, the welcome presents, and the homes themselves, of course. And generosity. I come from Lebanon, where hosting guests is considered a privilege and an honor. So we try to host people also with generosity, with more warmth. When we offer them a gift, when we, in the way we welcome them when they arrive. So this is, basically what we try to focus on.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.